It's Mon Mothma's HoloNet, and we're just posting on it. Welcome back to Mothmanet News and our 50-day countdown to The Mask of Fear by Alexander Freed. It's day 39, and I promised you all it was something very, 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 very important, and I'm not a liar. It's Caroline Blakiston's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Caroline. I adore you very, very much. I hope that she has the most wonderful day and remembers how much that I love her, and maybe, hopefully, she remembers me as well. I'm weird, so I make a strong impression. Yeah, that's right, remembers me and how much I love her and Mon, because I got to meet her at Star Wars Celebration in 2023 in London, and yes, I did lose my shit. It was amazing meeting her, telling her how much I love her, how much I love Mon, and even though I was shaking from the nerves, it was magical. It still feels like a fever dream sometimes. Anyways, for proof, this is the autograph that she signed for me. There's my name. And then this is the picture I have with her with sticky notes over my friend, because my friend didn't say that I could share this on YouTube. So side quest to just shove some sticky notes on top of her that will be removed in a moment after I'm finished filming this, because you guys aren't going to get to see a picture of my friend without their permission. Yeah, so it was actually one of the most amazing days of my entire life, because originally when tickets first dropped for Celebration in London, I wasn't able to go, and they did another ticket drop and I was able to acquire tickets for the whole weekend. And then mere days after I got those tickets, she was announced as a guest. I was like, okay, let's freaking go, right? And ultimately became my top priority for the convention, to meet her, and I had to wait until the Monday, but it was so worth it. I was like, last day of the convention, like, I woke up early. I had to leave super early. I was there, I was like one of the first people there, and then like even in the line, like in the queue to get in, I was like up there. I was drinking my coffee, trying to eat breakfast, just so nervous. I had gone to bed early the previous night because I was just like, and then I worked myself up into a frenzy and nearly had a panic attack. Wasted all of the spoons that I had on like the few times that I met her, and I had to skip out of the closing ceremonies, which was fine because I got to spend that time with my best friend. And Star Wars, you still have that picture of me and Gabs at the TIE Fighter. Yeah, Star Wars has a picture of us because we got interviewed because we're such good Star Wars fans. Our interviewer was like, oh really, Mon Mothma's your favorite character? And I was like, who else would it be? Do you not see me decked out head to toe? I got to meet Caroline Blakiston today. And then I went back to our Airbnb that we had. So I didn't even have the ability to go out to dinner with my friends. That's the level of working myself up into a frenzy that I had there. Yeah, it was one of those great times at a convention where not very many people were in her line, because like once I got in, I went like straight there. And you know, ultimately they were like, oh, like she's not here yet, you know, come back in a little bit. So like I wandered around not very far, and then I came back and there were like a couple other people, and like a couple other people showed up as well, and I was like, hey, I really need time to collect my thoughts because I did not write a script of what I was going to say to her, so please go ahead before me. Which meant that I had like a few minutes to yap at her about my love for Mon, and just she's so kind, so sweet. Like, I think she could tell I was nervous, because why wouldn't I be? Just me meeting the actress who played my favorite freaking Star Wars character of all time, and just being like, I mean, for the Friday when Genevieve appeared on the live stage, like, you can hear me in that YouTube video. I have to watch that YouTube video to remember what happened, because I did not handle it well. I probably was on the verge of hospitalization. That's how much I was freaking out. So yeah, I get nervous sometimes, and it's kind of weird because there are some people that I have absolutely no problem carrying on a conversation with, but others I'm like, it's just like, I met my favorite Star Wars authors at Celebration, and I was slightly nervous meeting them, but overall I was like, this is easy. Meeting Caroline Blakiston, I was like, this is not easy at all. Yeah, so it was very nice. And then when we went for our photo op, she remembered me, and she was so kind. And just thinking about that day, it makes me want to cry, because it was just so special to me. Because like I grew up with Star Wars. I've loved Mon Mothma since I was a kid, and there are people from Star Wars that I really always wanted to meet, and I never got the chance because they are no longer with us. Like, give me a time machine, I'm going back in time and meeting Carrie Fisher. Like, straight up, I'm meeting Christopher Lee, I'm meeting Peter Cushing, because I just love them, and they're like everything that they did. Like, it's I fear I would also not be able to handle speaking in front of like Christopher Lee or Peter Cushing or Carrie Fisher, because I've loved them since I was a child, right? Harrison Ford I'd be like, and he'd be like, you're a weird kid. Hopefully like in his Han Solo voice. And then I would collapse. Be like, Harrison Ford called me weird? He knows me so well. Yeah, but I just, oh god, it was such a wonderful day. And like, I remember going through the schedule and seeing who was going to be like on the Return of the Jedi panel, like for the 40th anniversary, and I found out that Caroline wasn't on it, and I was like, I'm not going to this in solidarity. Look, I don't care if they asked her and she was like, oh no, like, you know, it's fine, I don't want to do it, or whatever. Like, I don't care the reason. She should have been there. They should have fucking done whatever they needed to do to make sure that she was there. She is one of the most important people in all of Star Wars. Furthermore, the only woman on that panel was Ming-Na Wen, who was moderating it. And I'm like, you couldn't get any of the women who were credited in Return of the Jedi. Fuck that. Yeah, so that was the reason that I skipped it. Don't include my queen. Don't expect me in attendance. Thank you very much. And Caroline was actually the one who said originally that Mon is like the queen of my universe, and she was right with that. It remains true, and I carry that with me every single day, because I was like, you clocked me. You get it. You get that Mon Mothma is one of the reasons I get out of bed in the morning. When I'm like, oh man, like it would be so much easier to just not go to work and not make money, but then it's like, how do I afford things that might have Mon Mothma on them? If I don't have a roof over my head, where do I put my cool Mon Mothma stuff? That's the reason that I remain employed. It's not so I can eat or whatever. It's so that I have a house to put my Mon Mothma stuff in. I don't know how many people have said to her that Mon is their favorite Star Wars character, or like come to meet her with like fan-made merch for Mon. Because I had this on. I had the t-shirt that I also got from my friend's shop. I was wearing the earrings I got from my friend's shop. I had my little Mon Black Series figure. I had a Mon Mothma friendship bracelet that another one of my friends made for me and brought to the convention. Like, I was just Mothma'd out. Like, I looked like a Mon Mothma fan. And so, yeah, I don't know how many people have come to her, like, completely decked out, loving Mon Mothma, and just been like, she's, like, my absolute favorite Star Wars character. But, like, she definitely knows. She definitely knows that people love Mon Mothma, and are always excited to have more Mon Mothma in their life. I will always be one of those people that's just like, Mon Mothma's in this thing, sign me the fuck up. Like, even sometimes when I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy this thing, if Mon is in it, I will still consume it. And it's happened before. I personally did not enjoy the book Heir to the Jedi. I just felt like it wasn't as strong as some of the other works. She's mentioned in one paragraph in chapter 1, and I suffered through the rest of the book. Because I was like, just in case she's, like, indirectly mentioned at some point throughout the other book. I was reading it like an ebook, so I could, like, search. I searched Mothma, and her name was mentioned once. She doesn't even appear, but I read it. Like, my devotion to the Mon Mothma project cannot be overstated. This has been, like, I started working on this around the time that Andor first came out, and just coming like, there was no way I was going to be able to bring it to Celebration in 2023, but being able to bring it to Celebration in 2025, so special. I could not be more excited. No, I was not okay after meeting her. I was practically in shock because, wow, I really did that. And it took me a while later to process, holy shit, Tim Rose probably hates my guts because of what me just low-key dissing Akbar to hype up Mon. Even though, it's a joke that I hate Admiral Akbar, but I don't. Like, is he my favorite, like, high-ranking, like, male rebel leader? No, that's General Riken. Obviously, he's from Alderaan. Like, but I was just sat at the Forbidden Planet booth, just like, I met her. I met her. Here's a picture she signed for me. And I can't remember who was there. I'm pretty sure Cavan Scott was there. I think Lydia Kang was there, and a couple other Star Wars authors were there, and they were just watching me go through this after knowing the entire weekend that this was the thing I was most excited for. And like genuinely, they were like, how are you doing? And I was just like holding the picture, like facing outwards, and I was like, I was not doing okay. It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life, and I was just not doing okay because it was just so magical. Like, not everyone gets to meet the person who played and originated the role of their favorite freaking character in anything. So I'm like, wow. Like, I've met other amazing people from Star Wars who played characters that I love. Like, I love Morgan Elsbeth. I've met Diana Lee Inosanto. I've met Katie Sackhoff. I've met Ashley Eckstein. I've met D. Bradley Baker. D. Bradley Baker did the Nubs voice for me and the Crosshair one because I asked him to. I've met Steve Bloom. Like, I met Amanis Fondi. I've met Dennis Lawson twice. Like, I am incredibly, and that's not even counting the authors that I have met, like Ethan Sachs, Alyssa Wong, Daniel Jose Older, Adam Christopher, Claudia Gray, more than once, Lydia Kang, George Mann. Like, I have met so many cool people who have been involved with Star Wars, and it's such a magical experience, and just, wow, just getting to meet these people is wonderful. It is life-changing. And I know that sounds crazy because, yes, technically they are just people. But to me, there's that bond because I'm like, I watched or read something that you wrote. And wow, it had such a profound impact on me. And I'm so excited to meet you. I feel the same way when I meet, my friends' parents. I'm like, you created somebody that I love. I love you. So it's like, I'm one of those people that gets very excited to meet other people, right? And that whole weekend had just been me getting to meet so many cool people, friends, authors, celebrities. And it was just, this was kind of the final boss in that regard, because I was like, oh my gosh, because all weekend I was telling everyone oh my god, I get to meet Caroline on Monday, and then I got to, so it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, but Caroline was definitely very high up on my list of people that I have always wanted to meet from Star Wars. And Genevieve O'Reilly is up there too, and I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that they confirm her for this year, because Celebration is right before Andor premieres. If that date remains the same. We know what happened with the Obi-Wan Kenobi premiere. So yes, I'm doing a 50-day Andor Season 2 countdown, and it might get fucked up by Celebration. I am intending to do a day at Celebration, but you'll have to find out what that is later. While Caroline only got to play Mon in Return of the Jedi, we wouldn't have all that we have now with Mon without her. Like, one of the reasons that Genevieve O'Reilly was cast in Revenge of the Sith was because of the physical similarity between them. And Genevieve on her own is like really talented, but that was one of the things that they were looking for as well, because they were like, well, you know, she's like, we want her to kind of look similar. And now we have all of this other stuff with Genevieve. Like, Star Wars introduced me to so many different actors and actresses, and Caroline Blakiston and Genevieve O'Reilly are just two of them. And I am blown away. Like, Genevieve looked to Caroline's portrayal and used that in her own, like, portrayal of the character. And I really think that George Lucas should have let Caroline play Mon's grandmother as well, like in Revenge of the Sith. I think that would have been awesome, and I don't care how that would work. I just want to see it. Justice for Caroline, I wouldn't have ghosted you like George did. I probably would have just stood there and been like, hi. Play with Mon Mothma. Like, whatever you want / need, queen. Do it. I want more Mon Mothma. But that's also one of the reasons that Return of the Jedi gets, like, higher on my list, is because it introduced Mon Mothma. I don't think it has enough Mon Mothma in it, but it gets bonus points because it was the very first time we met her. That's really it for today. I don't really have anything else I want to say aside from another big happy birthday to Caroline Blakiston that I want to send out into the universe. Tomorrow is day 40, and it's Valentine's Day, so we've got some fun and silliness happening then. If you've been liking this series and want to see more of the Mothmanette, including the 50-day countdown to Andor as well, please consider liking this video and subscribing. If you'd like to find us on social media, we're on most platforms at Mothma Updates. May the Force be with you.